As if we didn't need any more reason as to why the police culture in this country needs to be completely overhauled. We have a 14-year-old girl by the name of Valentina Oreano Ravelto, and she was shot and killed by police in their attempt to apprehend a suspect who was going around beating people in an LA department store. There was an employee that said the person had a gun on them, but all we really see in the camera is this person whipping people. We don't see guns yet. This employee who called it in and said, that someone's walking around the store with a gun. I don't know if they actually saw the gun or if they overreacted. I haven't heard anything on it. I haven't seen any footage on it. But those police went in there with assault weapons, automatic assault weapons, and like a paramilitary force, like a SWAT team, basically. And they told the guy to get down. From next thing you know, they're firing multiple shots. The guy's on the ground. And right as those officers are racing towards the suspect to apprehend him, you hear a woman screaming in the background because her daughter just got shot. A 14-year-old girl who didn't do anything wrong. Reckless firing by police. And this girl is now dead, only at 14 years old. Now, some out there are going to go, well, that's just par for the course with police. The police are heroes. They can do no wrong. They're doing a job serving the community. The police, you better listen to them because they're angels from God and all this. Look, cops are people, just like the rest of us. They're as much of a human being as that 14-year-old girl was. Now, they killed the suspect who was beating people in the store. I honestly think they didn't need to do that quite yet. They didn't see a gun, to my knowledge. And even if he did, the protocol needs to be drop your weapon first. You have to try to de-escalate. But these cops, they just go in there with the intention to kill. It's obvious in how they handle the situation. A lot of these cops, let's not forget, were part of the military. They bring that military training into policing, and that is I don't know if it's a small part or a medium part. I don't think it's a large part, but it definitely is part of how the police culture has turned into a sort of a paramilitary force in the country. Like these people can just pick up the biggest, newest, most advanced toys they can get their hands on, go around these communities like an occupying army, and have their way. Now look, I'm glad they got that person. I'm glad that they stopped this person from doing any further damage, but they went too far. They really did go too far. All they really needed to do, if they had to shoot, they could have just shot the leg. Just kind of like boom, hit the leg, hit the arm. They don't need to kill him, but they should have aimed more towards the right. From the camera angle that cop was shooting from, the shot obviously missed a bit to the left, which was the back where the dressing rooms were. If he had aimed a little bit more to the right, that could have missed the girl and hit the suspect instead, or maybe even grazed the shelf where the suspect was standing, scared him enough at least to get him out of the way of those dressing rooms. But a lot of these cops are just like, you don't have time to think. If you think you're dead, well, then you don't belong in the police. You know what I'm saying? If all you're going to do is go in there and shoot first and don't ask questions, you don't need to be a cop. You should have either stayed in the military or, hell, you want to beat people up, go into MMA or something. But now a 14-year-old girl is dead because cops didn't have good enough training. And also, the police departments let in some pretty terrible people. A lot of these cops have PTSD when they go in there. A lot of them are combat veterans. And some of them are members of white supremacist groups, like the KKK or the Oath Keepers or the Proud Boys, Some of them are neo-Nazis. Either way you cut it, man, the police culture in America is as such that it incentivizes the worst among us, the worst we have to offer as human beings in society, to be part of that profession. And that's what we need to change. You change the culture of policing, change the nature of what it means to be a cop. When you have situations like what these police encountered, yeah, that's where you use SWAT. That's what the SWAT team's for, not traditional police forces. So, I don't know what it's going to take, man. This girl did nothing wrong. There was a party. I forget what the name of it's called, but she was on her way to this party when she reached 15 or something like that. If that were my kid, I'd be devastated. I really would. But that was reckless shooting by police. That cop definitely needs to be held accountable for reckless endangerment, negligent homicide. I don't think the cop meant to shoot that girl. Obviously, he wasn't even aiming at the girl. He probably didn't even know the girl was back there. But this just goes to show you better training is needed. We must have better training for police. We have to change the nature of the job that is policing.